Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yesterday we had started a chapter Poets and Pancakes of class 12. Yesterday I have done the first part. Today I am going to start the second part of this video. Yesterday we were talking about office boy who was of 40 years and he was doing the makeup of the crowd. Okay, till now we have read about pancake, then we have read about makeup department and the makeup room and office boy. Okay, now here he is going to talk about himself. In the next stanza, in next paragraph, he is going to talk about himself. In those days, I worked in a cubicle, means the room in the cubicle shape, two whole sides of which were French windows. Okay, the two sides they were the French class. Okay, I didn't know that at that time they were called French windows. हु इज़ आई हियर द राइटर. ठीक है, तो राइटर ने ये बताया कि उस टाइम पे वो एक क्यूबिकल रूम में बैठता था. ठीक है, जहाँ पे फ्रेंच विंडोज़ लगी हुई थी जिसमें से सभी को आर पार दिखाई देता था. ठीक है, सीइंग मी सिटिंग एट माई डेस्क tearing up newspaper day in and day out. Day in and day out means every time. Most people thought I was doing next to nothing. Okay, so everyone, as I have already told you, that his work was to cut the newspaper clippings and pasting them on the file. Okay, and to store them. So everyone was thinking that his work was insignificant work. Okay, so that was the reason whenever the people used to see him cutting the newspaper and pasting in the file, so they were thinking that he is free. It is likely that the boss thought likewise too. It means S.S. Wilson also thought the same thing, that the narrator was sitting free. So anyone who felt I should be given some occupation would barge into my cubicle, means in my room. Okay, means everyone who was thinking that I should be given some other work, means this is not a work for me, so they used to barge, means enter into his room and deliver an extended lecture or long lecture they used to give him. The boy in the makeup department, here they are talking about the office boy. Okay, department had decided I should be enlightened, means I should be given the knowledge on how great literary talent was being allowed to go waste in a department fit only for barbers and perverts. So what he used to say कि the office boy was there. Okay, he was thinking that I will give knowledge to you. ठीक है, वो हमेशा यही सोचता था कि वो नरेटर को नॉलेज देगा कि किस तरीके से तुम्हारा एक लिटरेरी जो टैलेंट है वो इस डिपार्टमेंट में, कौन से डिपार्टमेंट में आके वो न्यूज़ कटिंग वाले डिपार्टमेंट में क्या कर रहे हो, आप इसको वेस्ट कर रहे हो. आपके पास तो बहुत अच्छा टैलेंट है, किस चीज़ का, लिटरेरी का टैलेंट है. टू हुम ही यूज्ड टू से, टू अशोक मित्र. ओके, और ये डिपार्टमेंट जो ये कटिंग वाला है, ये कटिंग जैसे बार्बर्स होते हैं, नाई होते हैं, बाल काटते हैं. सो ही वाज सेइंग दैट कटिंग एंड पेस्टिंग वर्क इज़ फॉर बार्बर्स और परवर्ट्स मीन्स द करप्ट पीपल. ओके, pervert means the corrupt people. Soon I was praying for crowd shooting all the time. Nothing short of it could save me from his epics. Okay, means he was always wishing that there should be the crowd shooting, because if there will be the crowd shooting, then office boy will be busy every time and he will be free from these type of knowledgeable things or epics he was telling him. Okay, now kuch questions are there for you. Write one question here first. Why did everyone give lecture to the narrator? Next question is, what was narrator's work at Gemini Studio? Why did he pray for crowd shooting every time? Now we are going to continue from here. In all instances or frustration, you will always find the anger directed towards a single person, openly or covertly. Okay, means suppose you have any type of frustration, अगर आपको किसी चीज़ का गुस्सा है तो आप अपने आप को ब्लेम नहीं करते हो उस चीज़ के लिए. ठीक है, अपने गुस्से के लिए आप अपने आप को ब्लेम नहीं करते हो, आप किसी ना किसी एक पर्सन को, चाहे ओपनली या कोवर्टली मीन सीक्रेटली, इनडायरेक्टली, किसी ना किसी एक पर्सन को ब्लेम करते हो अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स के लिए. एंड दिस मैन ऑफ द मेकअप डिपार्टमेंट, हु इज़ दैट मैन? ऑफिस बॉय. Department was convinced that all his woes means sorrow, ignominy means dishonor, means do not getting any respect, and neglect were due to Kothamangalam Subbu. We are now going to read next about Kothamangalam Subbu. Okay, who was known as Subbu. Subbu was the number 2 at Jamini Studios, means at first like SS Vasan was at number 1, so he was at number 2, Jamini Studio. He couldn't have had a more encouraging opening in films than our grown-up makeup boy had. Means when they came in the film studio, okay, he also came as an actor and a makeup boy also. And the opening of makeup boy was more encouraging. Who is he here? Subbu. कि सुब्बू की जो ओपनिंग है यहाँ पे मीन्स स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द फिल्म्स में काम जो स्टार्टिंग में किया था वो उसकी इतनी अच्छी नहीं रही थी, ठीक है, जितनी कि इस लड़के की ऑफिस बॉय की रही थी. ठीक है, ऑन द कॉन्ट्रेरी ही मस्ट हैव हैड टू फेस मोर अनसर्टेन एंड डिफ़िकल्ट टाइम्स. ठीक है, बल्कि जो कोथामंगलम सुब्बू है, he had to face so much difficult time. For when he began his career, there were no firmly established films producing companies or studios. Even in the matter of education, especially formal education, Subbu couldn't have had an appreciable lead over our boy. See now what was there. First, he did not have the encouraging opening. Okay. Number 2, he had to face so many difficult times. ओके, वट वॉज देयर कि व्हेन ही स्टार्टेड द करियर, जब उसने अपना करियर बनाना शुरू किया उस टाइम उसको बहुत डिफ़िकल्टीज आई, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे इतनी अच्छी इतनी ज़्यादा फिल्म प्रोड्यूसिंग कंपनी नहीं थी या स्टूडियोज़ वगैरह नहीं थे. थर्ड ये था कि ही वॉज नॉट मोर एजुकेटेड दैन दिस बॉय. ओके, उसने इतनी फॉर्मल एजुकेशन नहीं ली हुई थी. ओके, बट बाय वर्च्यू, अगर हम किस्मत की बात करें ऑफ बीइंग बॉर्न अ ब्राह्मण, उसके लिए एक अच्छी बात है, इसके अंदर गुण क्या था? वर्च्यू मीन्स ए गुण, अ गुड थिंग. ठीक है, व्हाट वाज दैट ही वाज बॉर्न इन अ ब्राह्मण फैमिली. तो आपको पता ही है कि पुराने टाइम में जो ब्राह्मण्स का दर्जा है वो सबसे ऊपर था. ठीक है, तो लाइक 4 कास्ट वर देयर, तो ब्राह्मण वाज एट द टॉप. So that was the reason one good thing was there, that he was a Brahmin. A virtue indeed. Yes, in reality it was a virtue for him. He must have had exposure to more affluent situations. Affluent means rich situations. He was known to so many rich people. Okay, means because he belonged to Brahmin family, so that was the reason he knew many rich people and many famous people who helped him to go further. Okay, now write one question. What difficulties did Subbu face in film studio? And one more question by putting star. Whom did office boy blame for his woes and why? Whom did office boy blame for his woes and why? Okay, so till now we had read about office boy yesterday. Then we talked about writer, okay, who was doing the newspaper cutting and pasting in the file. Okay, and everyone was giving lecture to him. Then afterwards we started reading about Kothamangalam Subbu, okay, whom office boy did not like and thought that he was the reason for his woes. He had the ability to look cheerful at all the times, even after having had a hand in a flop film. Okay, cheerful means happy. He used to be happy every time, whether he had some hard films, means flop films in his hand. He had done flop films, but then also he was very happy. He always had work for somebody. He could never do things of his own. Means he had habit that he did not do work himself. He was telling work to others, and everyone did the work happily. But his sense of loyalty made him identify himself with his principal completely. His principal means who, his producer, his director, his principal, okay, मुखी जो था उनका, ठीक है, जिसके लिए वो काम करता था, ठीक है, तो उसका बहुत लॉयल था, वफादार था, ठीक है, इसीलिए वो उसको बहुत मानते थे. And turn his entire creativity to his principal's advantage. तो उसने अपना जितना भी टैलेंट था, ठीक है, सुबू का, हाउ मच टैलेंट सुबू है, उसने अपना सारा का सारा टैलेंट जो है वो अपने जो प्रिंसिपल हैं उनके एडवांटेज के लिए, या आप कह सकते हो प्रोड्यूसर जो हैं वही उसके प्रिंसिपल थे, तो उनके एडवांटेज के लिए उन्होंने क्या है अपना, उसने सुबू ने सारा का सारा अपना टैलेंट लगाया. ही हैड पुट दैट. He was tailor-made for films, means he was perfectly suitable for the films. Here was a man who could be inspired when commanded. Okay, the rat fights the tigers. Here they are talking about the producer. Okay, so and what they said that this man, Subbu was the man who was inspired and who was inspiring. Whenever anything is told to you, then he was there for the answer. Okay, the rat fights the tigress underwater and kills her, but takes pity on the cubs and tends them lovingly. Okay, I don't know how to do the scene. So here the producer was there was one scene in the mind of the producer, and he was saying that rats fights with the tigress. पानी के अंदर उसने लड़ाई की और टाइग्रेस को मार दिया, but he took pity on the cubs, यानी टाइगर के जो बच्चे हैं उन पे दे आ गए एंड टेंस दैम लविंगली, और उनके साथ प्यार से बिहेव किया, ठीक है, उनको ध्यान से उसकी मरहम पट्टी वगैरह जो वट एवर इज़ देयर, ठीक है. आई डोंट नो हाउ टू डू द सीन. ओके, मुझे नहीं पता कि वो सीन कैसे करना है. द प्रोड्यूसर वुड से एंड सुबू वुड कम आउट विद 4 ways ऑफ द रैट pouring affection on its victims offspring. Pouring affection means showing love on its victims. Victim, who is victim? Tigress. Offspring means child, cub. Okay, तो 4 तरीके लेके आ जाता था भी किस तरीके से आप ये लव शो कर सकते हो. गुड, बट आई एम नॉट श्योर इट इज़ इफेक्टिव एनफ, द प्रोड्यूसर वुड से, एंड इन अ minute Subbu would come out with 14 more alternatives. Okay, means he was always ready with new alternatives, okay, new ideas to give to the producer. Okay, that was the reason the producer was much inspired by him. Filmmaking must have been and was so easy with a man like Subbu around, and if ever there was a man who gave direction and definition to Gemini studio during its golden years, it was Subbu. Okay, so what he said that he was the man who had given the proper definition to the Gemini studio, because his direction was very good, and means whatever ideas he was giving to the producer were very good. So write one question: why was Subbu's producer impressed by him? Now we will continue the chapter tomorrow. We will continue with Subhu's character only tomorrow. For today, I am going to finish this video here only. We will continue tomorrow. Bye students.